going right into our SJHL report here for Southie Mainline Chrysler, the new king of trucks in Southie, Saskatchewan. I'll just read this one, boys. Over $260,000 in discounts across remaining 2024s right now. $2,000 off to $16,000 off at Southie Mainline Chrysler, the new king of trucks in Southie, Saskatchewan. Kyle McIntyre, commissioner of the SJHL, is joining us right now because Benny's on. Where is Benny?
Well, I don't know if there's any truth to the rumor, but I heard he might have been eloping this week.
People still do that?
Well,
it's not a bad play.
Maybe you're from Melville.
It's not a bad play as well. Almost right before playoffs, Benny is out of here. Okay, so what I usually ask Benny is games of the week, but since we have you here, just quickly, the league where we are right now, the parity, some of the first round matchups we can have as the commissioner. Obviously, pretty pumped.
Okay, but all we know for certain is who's going to finish first and second in the SJHL right now. So we have Melfort and Flin Flon up top, and then we have an absolute logjam from 3 to 7. And some of our teams have 2 games left. Some of them have 3. Every single one of those games could determine a playoff position. And so when you look at Highway 10, you look at Melville and you look at Yorkton, right now they're both in a 4 or 5 spot. SaskTel game of the week Friday. They have the next 2 games are head-to-head against one another. So in effect, those are 8-point games, and those could be swings. And so if Yorkton wins out or Melville wins out, that could determine home ice advantage. But Weyburn, who's sitting in the 3rd spot, that might not be secure either. They have to win at least 1 game to remain in 3rd. Humboldt and North Battleford in 6 and 7. So you have North Battleford and Humboldt. If they both win out their games this weekend, North Battleford, who's presently 7th, could conceivably slide into 6, and then Battleford would be in 7, which means they would play Flin Flon. So we will not know the final outcome until probably Saturday night late. But I think if I'm picking the games of the weekend, it's the precursor to the first round of playoffs. It's Yorkton and Melville, home and away. And those games are going to be hotly contested. And conceivably, those teams could be playing 7 games in a row over the next 2 weeks.
That old popular twirl. Who's looking at the playoff picture right now and saying, we're going to need extra gas money. Might have to go to Flin Flon.
Well, right now, probably the 2 teams that could possibly go to Flin Flon will be Battleford or Humboldt. And so Humboldt has some business they're probably going to try to take care of tonight. They visit Weyburn. They win that game, they're going to solidify their spot in probably the 6th spot. And so then we could see a rematch of our Canterra Seeds Cup final from 2 years ago with Battleford traveling to Flin Flon having the home ice advantage.
Head coaching, I think they just did the call, came out today in Estevan, looking for a head coach and general manager there. The league as a whole, though, this year, happy with where we are?
Yeah, it's been excellent. We've had, as you know, we're part of the Western Canadian Development Model, so we've been following Western Hockey League rules with both the AJHL and MJHL, and it has really increased the pace of play and the amount of offense that we see in the league. The officials have been great because many of our officials work in both the Western League and U Sport and the SJHL as being a developmental league. And so I think our officiating overall has been good. I think our coaches have run quality programs, and we see that by the parity in the league. We've seen lots of improvements with some programs. We see a couple programs, like, unfortunately, bittersweet, that Notre Dame is going to be transitioning to Warman, of course.
The Wolverines,
yes. Like the colors. Some people don't like the colors, but I know you're a fan of them, Barney. But I think that's great for our league. Warman is the fastest growing city in Saskatchewan. It was the fastest growing city in Canada for a number of years. Beautiful facility, a very large minor hockey system with lots of boys and girls that play hockey. And I think this is going to be a tremendous opportunity for the players who are presently on the Hounds. I think it's going to be awesome for Warman, and it's going to be awesome for the SJHL.
Yeah, is exactly where I was going to go, of building that excitement looking ahead after the playoffs with Warman coming into the league. But I saw the jerseys. I like them. I think the color combo is really cool. It's fresh look, right? It's not just a copycat kind of jersey, but that's awesome. And lots of excitement around. Obviously, Junior A has been in the focus for a lot of this year with some different changes, coming across the landscape and all that. And how have you guys just overall kind of managed that messaging down to teams and having players stay engaged and know that there's still lots of great opportunity out there for them.
Well, it's you got to be the voice of reason, I guess, or the voice of calmness. And some people, I'm sure there are people who have been critical that I haven't been more aggressive in terms of marketing the league. But I think we have a very strong league. We have lots of parity. I think we probably have the strongest junior A league in Canada. I think we provide lots of opportunities for our players to both move up to NCAA or U Sport or to the Western Hockey League. We're truly a developmental league. We run a good product. We've been around for 60 years. The sky is not falling. We have excellent attendance this year. Our communities really support our teams. The relationship we have between team and community is symbiotic. The community needs the team needs the community. It's really a sense of identity. Our players do lots of outreach in the community. The best players, the cream always rises to the top. I think the best players are still going to get opportunities. I think that in between the transfer portal and the CHL eligibility, it's all going to settle at some point. Yeah. It's not going to be this year. It's probably going to be next year or the year after. But I've been very impressed with the number of our players that have opportunities through U Sport this year, probably higher than usual. Normally we have about 14 or 15, and typically we have about 40 to 45 with both Division 1 and Division 3. And then we have probably about 12 or 13 ACAC. Those things are still happening. I think this year things are going to be delayed because of the transfer portal. The transfer portal really has not been a huge thing for the NCAA in hockey. It is in basketball. It is in football. It's absolutely crazy, right? But in hockey, really, there's only kind of been probably 200 people in the transfer portal previously. I think that's going to become a lot more active with some of these CHL kids that are going to some of the smaller programs that seem to be recruiting most of the CHL players right now. And sometimes, number one, you got to be a student first and foremost. You have to be a student athlete. And we all know as people who used to play hockey, not everyone that plays hockey is a student. Not everyone can win a spelling bee. And so that's going to be a rude awakening for some people. And sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. So I think some people are going to have a great experience. I think some people will not have a great experience. It is best for kids, so I can get behind it. But I think our league still, it's a quality game. It's a fast game. It's fun to watch. Our fans have been engaged. And who would have thought at the start of the year, September 20th, that we would be fighting until March the 17th to determine our playoff position. Right. That's awesome.
Okay, before we let you go, we always have the Southie Mainline Chrysler Worth the Drive game of the week. When Benny's with us, what's your game of the week, Commish?
It's Melville Yorkton. That's going to be, I think that's going to be if that series comes to fruition, that's going to be our best first round series. Awesome. There'll be lots of movement back and forth. But this weekend, those games are going to be absolute doozies.
Friday night, 7 p.m. is the first one in Melville.
Yep.
The house that Benny built. Right on. Commish, always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, gentlemen.
Taking some time. That is your SJHL report for Southie Mainline Chrysler. The new king of trucks in Southie Saskatchewan, 2024's $260,000 in discounts right now.